Hey guys, this is Nikki with Global Publishing Ron LeGrand, and we're doing this week's Ask Ron here on location in San Antonio, Texas. Only we've done a little switching. It's Ask the Wolffs this week while Ron is on the bus trip teaching the students all about ugly houses. So here we have Brian and Lynette Wolff.
Hi everybody.
All right, we're going to start with question number 1, which is from Jeff in Florida. And Jeff says he ran a couple of ads on Craigslist and got a response. The response was that the seller is upside down, but his income to debt ratio is way off. He takes in $1,948 a month, and he pays out $1,154, and his mortgage payment is $878. House is worth $66,000, but he owes $68,000. I think he had mentioned that it was approved for a short sale. What is the best way to handle this situation?
Okay, I got this one, honey. So this would be a perfect example of either doing an axe deal because he owes pretty much what the house is worth, or he could also do a short sale because it's already a pre-approved short sale. There's no equity and there's no cash flow. So we would either want to do the short sale or the axe deal, right, honey?
Well, on a deal like that, the house condition makes a big difference on what kind of deal you're going to do. If the house is in perfect condition, you'd be more likely to do a lease purchase and then do an axe deal. Okay, now remember, an axe is a long-term lease purchase. If someone owes close to what the house is worth, it's going to take time for the principal balance to come down and appreciation to make the house value rise to make that a deal. So you always want a long-term deal. Now, listen, the most important thing you said in that whole question was there's an approved short sale. The second you hear that, you need to find out what the short sale is approved for.
What's it approved for?
Yeah, and if they're...
That's right.
Now, you do have to pay cash on a short sale. If a bank agrees to do a short sale with you, you're going to have to come up with funds to pay that. So you should be following Ron's Mayo formula. Remember, the Mayo only applies to ugly houses. Pretty houses, it doesn't apply. But remember, the Mayo formula would apply if you're buying a short sale, so you'd have to get a pretty good deal. And if the house is in ugly shape, it's even easier to get a short sale. So hopefully if you can get this discounted down with the mortgage lender to 30 or 40, then maybe you would have a good short sale deal there.
Otherwise, like we said, with the axe deal, Brian said long-term lease purchase. So over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, the principal buy-down balance is going to come down significantly. And of course, the prices of houses appreciate. So either way, you can't go wrong, either axe or a short sale.
Yeah, and how late is the guy? Now, if you do axe, you have to catch up that mortgage. But
That's
if it's,
true.
you know, if he may not even be behind yet, but if he got approved for a short sale, chances are he's behind. So that's another wrinkle. Okay.
Alrighty, now the next question is from Kurt, and he wants to know, he's looking for the lease option agreement where option price is equal to remaining mortgage balance.
Okay.
When buying.
That's
Yes.
right, there's a special clause for this. Go ahead, honey.
Now, you're going to write this in on every lease purchase agreement you do. When you write in the option price, you do not write in $200,000 or $300,000 when there is an underlying mortgage. Okay, when there's an underlying mortgage, you're going to write in purchase price to equal mortgage balance payoff amount at time of cash out closing. All right, that
Say
way.
that again, honey.
That way, because even though you're just lease purchasing it, you're getting the benefit of the mortgage balance reduction.
Because if you had just said purchase price equal $200,000, you're not getting that principal buy down, the mortgage balance. So you need this special clause that Brian just said.
And if you have this property for 5 years or even 3 years, that could be a significant amount of money. So again, that clause is purchase price to equal mortgage balance payoff amount at time of cash out closing. Okay, and remember there's 2 closings in these deals. There's the initial closing where you first get it under lease purchase, and then there's the cash out closing when your lease purchase buyer cashes you out and they get cashed out. So that's a good way to keep those distinct.
These are great questions.
All right, we have another question about lease agreements, and it says, "Hi, Ron," which we have the Wolff stepping in for Ron. "I am curious to know where I might find a good master lease agreement and a non-disclosure agreement."
That is actually on the Gold Club, Ron's Gold Club, and go to the resource section. There's a tab that says resource, and scroll down, it's right there.
There's so many valuable resources on your Gold Club. You should just go on there and play around for a few minutes when you get a chance, and go into that resource section, go through all the paperwork that's
It is
listed there.
replete with information, and there's some awesome lessons on there. Everything you can need is on the Gold Club.
When
It's
you come to the
amazing.
quick start, Lynette and I are always at these quick starts, and I do the contracts. So when you guys get deals, and we close deals for you right at the event, we'll actually do the contract, and I'll review it personally before we send you out with that contract.
Same with the
So-
mentoring program. You fill it out as best you can. We know you're going to screw it up, and then we're going to fix it for you.
But with those contracts, guys, they're on the Gold Club, and you can actually just pull them off of there, and just reading them through will make you a lot more comfortable with those.
All right, and the next question is from Charles in Katy, Texas.
Charles?
Charles is a newbie, and he's enrolled to come see us in Dallas at the Quick Start.
Oh,
We look forward to
pretty soon.
seeing you, Charles. And he was told to bring property information sheets to class, and I like to stress completed property information sheets. And he's planning on starting his Gold Elite VA subscription, but he hasn't done the training yet, so he wants to know to wait. Does he wait until after the course to kick into gear so his business model's your guidance?
You definitely want to get going right away. Okay, get going with the VA. Did he say he had the VA set up?
Yes, the VA setup,
VA,
Gold Club,
Gold Club,
and
and
that's great. If you are getting those leads, that's what we want to see at
we
that event.
love at the Quick Start Real Estate School, the more leads you bring in, the more deals we can close for you right there at the event. So the key is get on the phone, get some leads, get Eagle VA, get as many lead sheets over to the Quick Start Real Estate School, because that's where we're going to go through the yeses first. You talked about complete lead sheets. Let me elaborate on that real fast. We're going to go through the yeses, the ones that are all filled out, and then we'll go through the no's, and then the very last ones we get to when we have time is the ones that are incomplete, that don't have all the information. So yes, ideally you want to get all the information, but if you can't, bring in whatever lead sheets you can. We're super excited to call your sellers for you right here at the Quick Start.
And we're here in San Antonio right now, and we've closed a bunch
Oh,
of
my
deals.
goodness.
On the first night, we do these calls right on stage, so you can see exactly how this business works right in front of you. And if you brought in leads, we're going to be closing your deals. There's a bunch of students that are leaving here with contracts that we've reviewed, then they're going out and they have appointments to go buy houses Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and they are so excited.
They're so
and
happy
you're
they
gonna be
brought
so
those
excited.
leads in.
Yeah, and so
Yes.
don't wait to get your lead source going. Guys, the business consists of two things, two keys to this business: consistent lead flow, timely closing calls. You get your consistent lead flow going, bring those leads in here, and we're going to make those closing calls and get you deals.
Okay, yeah, just to reiterate, the Quick Start Real Estate School in Dallas starts March 26th. So you're saying he should go ahead and get started generating
Yes.
those leads now, so
Yes.
he's ready to bring them.
Correct. Thank you,
Okay.
Nikki.
Okay, now our next question is from Wissam, and he is asking, using lease to purchase option, what would be the response to the seller if he asks, what's my guarantee that the tenant will make the monthly payments?
Okay.
Yep. Well, actually, what we do is if the tenant doesn't make the payment, we do. Now, here's the deal. We're working with lease purchase buyers. That's a different animal than just a tenant. They have skin in the game. They've given us non-refundable deposit that we can also utilize should we need to cover some payments. So we let the seller know that, don't worry, we'll take care of it. We're buying your house. You can move on. We'll cover the payment. I think that was mainly the question,
And if it's
right?
a sandwich lease purchase, you do make those payments, and
You
you
will.
do need to set the deal up appropriately in the beginning where you don't have to worry about this. Now, you're going to vet the person somewhat, you're going to do a pre-qual before you put somebody in that house. Once they're in that house, you should have enough down where you're comfortable, and you should know your eviction process in your state. And very rarely, though, like Lynette said, do you have to evict people, because this is a different kind of breed of person. This is a person with money in the game, and they're thinking of themselves as an owner.
That's
Even
right.
when we sign a lease purchase agreement, we go ahead and fill out a purchase and sale agreement with them too, so they can feel like I'm an owner. Now, we don't write today's date, we write, the end of their actual option period, but they want to own that house, and they think a whole way differently about this house.
And we even give them a gift basket and congratulations, they're moving the home, and
Right.
the pride of ownership. And another thing, I don't know if you want to talk about the referrals, but we put this little referral thing inside the gift basket.
Sure. A lot of our business comes from referrals. A lot of you guys want to get more leads and warm leads. Guys, you can't get warmer leads than referrals.
That's
So
the
anybody
best.
you ever do a deal with, a seller and buyer, you better be asking them for 4 or 5 leads. Okay?
All right, now our final question is from Desiree,
Hi, Desiree.
who happens to be in attendance here at the
Yes.
Quick Start Real Estate School, and she's on the bus right now. But her question is, it's kind of a long question, so be patient. Her question is, if you purchase a house from the seller with owner financing or subject to, and you put in a tenant buyer, the tenant buyer stays in for the term of the agreement, but doesn't end up closing on the deal. You go out and find another tenant buyer. Does your business pay for the interim payments while you find a new tenant buyer? If so, for how long?
This is kind of like the first question.
that's like the
By
last
the way,
question.
yes, so that first tenant buyer, let's say they have to move out, we get calls all the time, you know, they're like, I'm sorry, we have to relocate, whatever, we keep the non-refundable deposit, and then we go get another lease purchase buyer. So it's like you got another house, okay? If there's an interim where there's vacancy, yes, you would cover the payment, and that's why you're getting non-refundable deposits. Put that in a separate bank account to offset any possible future negative cash flow or
If
vacancy,
you have to.
if you
Yeah.
have to.
Oh, that's a good point, though. You should save out 1/3 of the money you
A
get.
third.
Essentially, that's spending money for you. That's spendable cash to you when you get these non-refundable option deposits. But remember to save out a little for taxes or you won't be happy in April. But a deal like this, it comes back to how you bought the house and the deal you got on the house. Most of the houses you get, and we want you to be about 150,000 plus to maybe 300,000. That's the meat of most markets, wherever you're living. Unless you're in like Seattle or LA or something, and then jack that up by about 200,000. But in most normal markets, if you're in the bread and butter of the market like that, you're not going to have a problem selling these houses on terms. And in fact, you're not going to have pangs of fear strike you when somebody calls and says, we have to move out. You're going to be happy. You're going to be rejoicing.
Because it's like you just got another house. I
That's
mean,
right.
we do everything in our power to help them qualify and to get them, the lease purchase buyer, to get them to be able to exercise that option.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is sometimes they just need to move on.
That's right. And they leave behind their option deposit. You get a chance to make a whole nother one. So it is like getting a brand new house. And so and usually you can move these properties. We actually have, we like to sell the first weekend.
Yeah.
We have a
We
program
have a whole
for that.
system on sell the
And-
first weekend.
And so you guys, I don't think you're going to have an issue when you buy these pretty houses the right way. You're not going to have an issue with this. And if you do have to cover a little bit of a vacancy period, you will have collected enough, and you'll be collecting more to cover any kind of discrepancy there.
Well, these were awesome questions. We
Yes.
are super excited to see you at the summit.
Yes.
I know that you're all signed up, RES.
RES2016.com. Go to there and get signed up if you're not signed up. That's February 24th through the 28th in Orlando. It's going to be a spectacular event. If you are signed up, make sure you get there because you're going to be sad if you miss out on this amazing time.
It's going to be
Yeah.
incredible. And
We'll
bring
be
lots
there.
of lead sheets in there too, because we're going to be
That's
closing
right.
deals left and right. All the mentors are going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
We're so excited.
Any event you come to, like all these quick starts and stuff, Lynette and I are going to be here, and we want those lead sheets. We want to see you guys succeed. We want to close deals for you and change your life. So come on down, get to one of the events real soon, and we're looking forward to seeing you there.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Wolff couple, for this week's Ask Ron.